Hello, hello. Welcome back to another session of Victorious Human. With me, Violet, is your host as we are reading through the book of Psalm. We are now in Psalm 78. But before I read Psalm 78, remember, I did say that I was going to look up who Asaph is. Asaph, because we keep on hearing this Asaph person is writing the psalm. I was like, so who is he? Who is he? Can you believe it? He's there in the Bible. As I went back to, I was doing the research, they said he was one of the temple musicians who was put in place by David. So I had to go back to Chronicles and I found him in First Chronicles 6, verse 31. I'm not going to read everything, but I'm just going to read the places where his name is specifically mentioned in the few bits to tie everything together. It says, the temple musicians, verse 31. These are the men David put in charge of the music in the house of the Lord after the ark came to rest there. They ministered with music before the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, until Solomon built the temple of the Lord in Jerusalem. They performed their duties according to the regulations laid down for them. Wow, wow, wow. That is truly something to think about. So as musicians, you are given regulations and you abide by them. That's just something to think about. Here are the men who saved together with their sons. And you will see that everyone, if I were to read son, they all go back to Levi, son of Israel. Jacob, is that right? Son of Israel. So from the Kohathite, Heman the musician, he was the son of Joel, the son of Samuel. So I skip all the way down to 38. It's still telling you the son of Izah, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, the son of Israel. 39. And Haman's associate Asaph, who served at his right hand. Asaph, son of Berechiah, son of Shimea, son of Michael, son of Baashiah, son of Malchijah, son of Ethin, son of Zeriah, son of Adaiah, son of Ethan, son of Zimah, son of Shimei, son of Jahath, son of Gershon, son of Levi. And then he tells you other associates, the Merarite at his left hand. So Asaph was a temple musician. He served with Heman, and he was at his right hand. He was an associate of Heman. Heman was the main, I'm guessing, the chief musician. Wow, wow, wow. And they were placed in place by David. So he played a big role. Imagine being able to worship in the temple with the Ark of the Covenant inside it. Yeah, you need to be at another level. You need to be another level, because that was not a playing matter. Wow, wow, wow. That's just something to think about. So I am reading Psalm 78, a Mosque of Asaph. And now we know who Asaph is. All right, verse 1. All my people, hear my teaching. Listen to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter hidden things, things from of old, what we have heard and known, what our fathers have told us. We will not hide from their children. We will tell the next generation the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord, his power and the wonders he has done. He decreed statutes for Jacob, and for the record, I'm reading the New International Version, so it might be different from your version, because this is New International Version. He decreed statutes for Jacob and established the law in Israel, which he commanded our forefathers to teach their children, so that the next generation would know them, even the children yet to be born, and they in turn would tell their children. Then they would put their trust in God and would not forget his deeds, but would keep his commandments. They would not be like their forefathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, whose hearts were not loyal to God, whose spirits were not faithful to him. The men of Ephraim, though armed with bows, turned back on the day of battle. They did not keep to God's covenant and refused to live by his law. They forgot what he had done and wonders he had shown them. He did miracles in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the region of Zoan. He divided the sea and led them through. He made the water stand firm like a wall. He guided them with the cloud by day and with light from the fire all night. He split the rocks in the desert and gave them water as abundant as the seas. He brought streams out of a rocky crag and made water flow down like a river. But they continued to sin against him, rebelling in the desert against the Most High. They willfully put God to the test by demanding the food they craved. They spoke against God, saying, "Can God spread a table in the desert?" When he struck the rock, water gushed out and streams flowed abundantly. But can he also give us food? Can he supply meat for his people? When the Lord heard them, he was very angry. His fire broke out against Jacob, and his wrath rose against Israel, for they did not believe in God or trust in his deliverance. Yet he gave a command to the skies above and opened the doors of the heavens and rained down manna for the people to eat. He gave them the grain of heaven. Men ate the bread of angels. He sent them all the food they could eat. He let loose the east wind from the heavens and led forth the south wind by his power. He rained meat on them like dust, flying birds like sand on the seashores. He made them come down inside their tent, all around their tents. They ate till they had more than enough, for he had given them what they craved. But before they turned from the food they craved, even while it was still in their mouths, God's anger rose against them. He put to death the steadiest among them, cutting down the young men of Israel. In spite of all this, they kept on sinning. In spite of his wonders, they did not believe. So he ended their days in futility and their years in terror. Whenever God slew them, they would seek him. They eagerly turned to him again. They remembered that God was their rock, that God Most High was their Redeemer. but when they would flatter him with their mouths, but then they would flatter him with their mouths, lying to him with their tongues. Their hearts were not loyal to him. They were not faithful to his covenant. Yet he was merciful. He forgave their iniquities and did not destroy them. Time after time he restrained his anger and did not stir up his full wrath. He remembered that they were but flesh, a passing breeze that does not return. How often they rebelled against him in the desert and grieved him in the wasteland. Again and again they put God to the test. They vexed the Holy One of Israel. They did not remember his power, the day he redeemed them from the oppressor, the day he displayed his miraculous signs in Egypt, his wonders in the region of Zoan. He turned their rivers to blood. They could not drink from their streams. He sent swarms of flies that devoured them and frogs that devastated them. He gave their crops to the grasshoppers, their produce to the locusts. He destroyed their vine with hail, and their sycamore figs with fleet. He gave over their cattle to the hail, their livestock to bolts of lightning. He unleashed against them his hot anger, his wrath, indignation, and hostility, a band of destroying angels. He prepared a path for his anger. He did not spare them from death, but gave them over to the plague. He struck down all the firstborn of Egypt, the first fruit of manhood in the tents of Ham. But he brought his people out like a flock. He led them like sheep through the desert. He guided them safely, so they were unafraid. But the sea engulfed their enemies. Thus he brought them to the borders of his holy land, to the hill country his right hand had taken. He drove out nations before them and allotted their land to them as an inheritance. He settled the tribes of Israel in their homes, but they put God to the test and rebelled against the Most High. They did not keep his statutes. Like their fathers, they were disloyal and faithless, as unreliable as a faulty bow. They angered him with their high places. They aroused his jealousy with their idols. When God heard them, he was very angry. He rejected Israel completely. He abandoned the tabernacle of Shiloh, the tent he had set up among them. He sent the ark of his mighty into captivity, his splendor into the hand of the enemy. He gave his people over to the sword. He was very angry with his inheritance. Fire consumed their young men, and their maidens had no wedding songs. Their priests were put to the sword, and their widows could not weep. When the Lord awoke as from sleep, as a man wakes from the stupor of wine, he beat back his enemies. He put them to everlasting shame. Then he rejected the tents of Joseph. He did not choose the tribe of Ephraim, but he chose the tribe of Judah. Mount Zion, which he loved. He built his sanctuary like the heights, like the earth with that, like the earth that he established forever. He chose David, his servant, and took him from the sheep pen. From tending the sheep, he brought him to the shepherd of his people Jacob. Let me read that again. He chose David, his servant, and he took him from the sheep pens, because he was a shepherd, yeah? From tending the sheep, he brought him to the sheep, to the shepherd of his people Jacob, of Israel his inheritance. And David shepherded them with integrity of heart. With skillful hands he led them. So David shepherded them. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. Wow, wow, wow. There it is clear, if you ever doubted why is David being resembled as Christ here. See, Jesus is our shepherd, the faithful shepherd. And here David shepherded them with integrity of heart, with skillful hands he led them. And if you remember earlier on, we were reading how he appointed temple worshippers. He had a plan and he implemented everything. And when Solomon came, all he had to do was to just follow the tricks his father had laid. Eh? Wow, wow, wow. I will not go into it, but wow, wow. This, imagine the history of the children of Israel being told in this psalm. Eh? Here we had a glimpse of everything, their deliverance, their journey through the wilderness. Everything, everything. We are hearing it here. Wow, wow, wow. That is truly something to think about. That is all from me for now. Remain blessed and continue to be victorious. Goodbye.
You've been my refuge through the storm, a shelter strong where I am reborn. Under your wings, I find my peace. Your love forever gives me release. Lead me higher to the rock that stands when the oceans roar. cry. Oh God, attend to my prayer. When my heart is faint, you're